What is it with hotels and ghosts? I mean, you hear so many stories where hotels are haunted.
I don't know, maybe it's because the spirits have had a personal connection to the place while they were alive.
Yeah, maybe. Or the more scary option is that they chose to end their lives in one of the hotel rooms.
Whatever the reason, this place is an absolute must-see on the ghost hunting map. Look at that. Check it out. There it is, guys.
Wow. Oh, wow. Has anyone seen The Shining, the movie The Shining?
Wow. Entering our very own horror movie.
So where are the caves from?
The main caves, the tourism caves, are around that corner there, about 3 or 4, or about 2 caves actually.
Okay.
But there are caves underneath the hotel that we're going to be staying at.
Yeah, they're some of the deepest caves around the area, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the most tapu, which is sacred.
Exactly. Now, this hotel was originally built in 1908, and since then there's been at least 5 deaths reported in the hotel itself.
Yeah, and by all reports, there are at least that many spirits still wandering its corridors. I've been told that some of the rooms don't even actually appear on the layout of the hotel because they have been built over such a long period of time that people have just lost track of what was built and what wasn't built.
Spooky-looking old place.
Well, I guess this is us.
I'm surprised it hasn't been used for, like, a location for haunted movies. It's one of those classic buildings, even in the daylight, because it's just got the architecture where you can just see, like, even cheesy movies like Scream being shot in here just with a
Okay, team. Now, before you go in, I've got a couple of things I need to show you. If you open up your dossiers to the back page, I've got a couple of photographs that I want you to have a look at. Now, this is partly the reason why we're here. It's photographs such as these from guests that have stayed in the hotel. Now, the first one, as you can see in the top right-hand corner, there's kind of a mist, which is what we call ectoplasm. And the strange thing about this photograph is not so much the mist, but the fact that the people in the photograph are actually pointing at it. But
it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Well, and the fact that he's pointing it to it as well.
Exactly right. It raises a lot of questions. Now, the other photograph was also taken by a guest in the hotel, and it's basically walking down a corridor, but there's plenty of movement in the photograph. It kind of makes it look like the walls are actually melting. And the thing about it is that the movement in the photograph isn't really consistent all the way around. It seems to be all over the place.
Whereabouts is this corridor in the hotel?
Funny you should ask that, because this corridor is where you guys are going to be staying tonight. I didn't want to say this to the other guys, but mainly because they have to stay here tonight. But I get a very strange energy just being outside it. I'm quite looking forward to getting inside and seeing if that feeling intensifies once we get in there. Well, I don't want to jinx ourselves, but it's probably the most likely place that we're going to see some paranormal activity.
You've got some rooms booked?
Well, yes, we believe we've got some haunted rooms for tonight. Is that right?
Well, we have indeed, yes. Okay. Jenny, we have a couple of rooms there. 31. This is the honeymoon suite. It's in the oldest part of the building, over 100 years old, and has a lot of ghostly associations, so...
Perfect.
That should suit you.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later with you.
Caroline,
we're putting you in room 25, which is the other end of the building, and it has some ghostly associations as well.
An interesting factor about this hotel is that not all of the hauntings are concentrated into one spot. The staff and the guests have seen them all over the place. So what that means is, as well as using these surveillance cameras, which obviously send the signal right back here to the van, I'm going to have to employ a whole lot of freestanding cameras as well. And I'm thinking in total, I'm going to need at least 20.
For many of the townspeople, they know the history of it, and a lot of them won't come up here. Like the doors, they're quite heavy, and sometimes they're open and shut by themselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Have you had any other experiences around the place?
I've had a door shut on me, and Ruapenny Martin, the manager, his son, saw a guy up through here, and he walked through one of the doors. He checked on his list, and there was no one staying in this part of the hotel. And
even if they were, I doubt they could walk through doors.
So this is room 31, Mike, that I told you about.
Here we are.
And
The honeymoon suite.
the honeymoon suite indeed,
Yes.
and it is very popular.
And there's room 25.
Oh, which one's that?
That one just there. And that's as far as I'll take you.
Oh, really? Can you not show me around?
No.
At least come to the door.
Many of the staff won't even come through those 5 doors.
It's locked.
So now, what can you tell me about the haunted legends or stories of this
Well,
hotel then?
The story that I tell you is told to me by an old Maori, and this is very true. The facts are true. The English, they camped down in the valley down there that you can see where is now the main road and the village.
Okay.
And one of the chief's daughters actually crept out through the bush and met up with one of the soldiers. And they became enamoured of each other. And one night it was very misty, and she crept out as usual and crept down the bank. And unfortunately, a sentry got up and shot her. He figured that they were getting invaded and he shot her. And we understand that it's she who actually lives in this part of the building now.
The door won't unlock.
Oh, I'll talk to them. Hi, we just want to stay in here tonight. I'm a little tired, so I wouldn't mind just having a peaceful sleep.
There you go.
Feel like coming to say hello. See, they're nice.
This piece of equipment is critical to any ghost hunt. Now, the concept behind a tri-field meter is that it measures electromagnetic flux at a frequency which paranormal experts believe is apparent during supernatural activity. So I'm going to set up about half a dozen of these at various hotspots around the hotel, and if I get a flux reading, I'll send Michael and Carolyn in to investigate. Guys, time to suit up. There you go, Carol. Now, these are decked out with 2 cameras. One sits on top and shows your point of view, and the other camera swings around and points at your face so that we can see all the fear in your eyes. And here are your laser thermometers. All you have to do is point and shoot, and it will give an accurate, instant reading of the temperature that's in the room, because paranormal experts believe that spiritual activity may be indicated by a sudden temperature drop. Michael?
Yes.
You're going to head upstairs to all the haunted rooms.
Nice.
Before you bunk down for the night on your own.
Okay.
And Carolyn, for you, you're heading downstairs to the ballroom, the servants' quarters. You guys all ready?
Yep.
You've got cameras, torches.
Thermostat.
Yep.
Yep.
Brilliant. I think you're set.
Okay.
I'll see you in there.
Talk to you soon.
Have fun.
I'll check in with you soon.
Okay, sweet, mate. Copy that.
This hotel is renowned to be the most haunted hotel in New Zealand. All I need now is for Jack Nicholson to come walking down the hallway with an axe in his hand saying, "Here's Johnny." There's a really, really strange feeling in this room. Can you detect anything on the monitor? There's a really, really strange feeling in here. There's really, it's like something's happened here.
No, mate, I can't see anything unusual on the screens, but you might want to take some photos just in case.
This is the kitchen to the breakfast area, the hallway, which leads into the ballroom. It's said that many a tune is played on this piano, and then people come to check out where the noise came from, and there's no one there. Brad, can you see anything weird in here? I can see like green lights in my peripheral vision.
No, I can just see your torch.
Oh.
shit. That was the door closing behind me. I didn't touch that. Hey, Brad, I didn't touch that doorway when I walked through it. That door just closed by itself. I didn't go anywhere near it. Did you see anything in the monitor?
No, not at all, apart from it closing behind you and a strange noise.
This place gives me the creeps, man. This place gives me the creeps. The reason why this room is infamous is because of the gruesome death that occurred in this particular room. And the man that was staying in here one night when he was walking down the hallway said that a female ghost walked through him. And more particularly, it was a Maori princess. But he went downstairs in a state of absolute terror and panic. And he told a few other guests of what had happened. And then he retired back up into his room. The next morning, when the cleaners were cleaning his room, they found that he'd slashed his wrists and was lying dead in the bathtub. All right, here we go, back through that door again. So I can't stay open lights out.
This area here is what's known as Cat's Alley, which was basically the old servants' quarters. In the 1930s, an unmarried mother used to work here. And she had a son. One night he was playing and he toppled over a hot pot of boiling water, which killed him instantly. It was so hot. And apparently that's his ghost that is seen around here. I'm coming back outside.
Carolyn, hey, can you just go for a wander around, just around the front door area? There was just like an orb just floating through shot for a good 5 minutes that was really, really slow, but yeah, there it is right there. It's just near the front door, so...
Do you want me to go get some photos?
Yeah, yeah.
Can't believe I just said that voluntarily. What an idiot. I'm going to read the temperature. $12, $13. It moves. I wonder if it's... You know the little boy who got burnt and died in the kitchen? They call him Daniel. So if that's you, hello Daniel. Hope you've had fun freaking me out.
I've been sitting here all night, you know, when these guys are wandering through and they go off camera and getting quite used to seeing insects between the camera and knowing what that looks like. They're quite, it's quite fast moving and they're in and out, and it's more of a flash than what we saw there. It was extremely slow moving and it changed in size. There was just no consistency to the movement.
I have a feeling that the night isn't over yet for me. Brad's still downstairs in the van checking the footage from what we recorded earlier. So, like all good Ghostbusters, I'm going to stay prepared. I've got my RT on the stand just there. I've got my torch with me still. I don't think I'll even bother getting out of my clothes because I really don't think the night is over, so I'm just going to try and get a light kip. And, yeah, I'll see what the night's going to bring.
Michael, can you hear me? Michael? Come in, Michael. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Brad. What is it?
Sorry to wake you up, mate. I've got an EMF going off down in the cellar that I need you to go down and take a look at. I think Caroline's had enough scares for one night, so I'm going to send you down there if that's okay.
Copy that. The EMF, why would it be giving such a high reading?
Well, as you know, many parapsychologists believe that severe electromagnetic flux is sometimes indicative of paranormal activity, so can you head straight down there to check the situation out?
Okay, Brad, I'm down at the bottom of the stairwell now. I'm just about to head down to the cellar. Oh, man. Sorry, I just gave myself a fright just by opening the door. It's just beeping again now, the EMF. Is there any reason for that? It's just making quite a loud beeping noise right now.
Well, I was reading up on it, and the story is there was a scullery maid whose body was found down there in the cellar, and the strange thing about it was that they could only find a fake ID on her, and so no one actually ended up knowing who it was.
Yes. Oh, shit. Okay. Hey, Brad, there was a door that just closed behind me right then. Did you hear or see that?
No, not at all. Did you get a photo of it?
No, I didn't get a photo of it, you bastard. I'm going to take a photo now, though, okay?
Michael has this habit of doors closing behind him. I'd love to think that there's some spirit in there that's just happily following him around, just closing doors behind him wherever he goes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, you've been here all the time.
Absolutely. Where else would I be? Hey, guys, jump on in. I've got some very cool images to show you.
Found some stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, excellent. Let's have a look.
Come on.
It sounds like I missed out on all the fun. What happened? It sounds like you had some orb or something following you around.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It was quite exceptional. I'll play this down for you so we'll talk as we watch it down. And that's what drew my attention, was that circle of light. Now, Cara, you were actually inside at the time, and I actually got you to come outside and have a look. Now, you notice in the top right-hand corner through that shot, the orb doesn't appear. Yeah. That camera is right up near the front door, so the orb is somewhere between the top of the steps and the camera. And you actually walk out, and it still stays there. So therefore, it's not consistent with your light source.
No, it's definitely completely independent of anything that you were doing or with your torch or anything like that.
The theory is that an orb is basically what spirits use to manifest themselves. Spirits use energy to manifest, and that energy comes from either electrical equipment that's actually in the room, or it can come from us. But there's absolutely no other way I can explain how we had a circle of light that consistent throughout 5 minutes of footage, both when you were there and when you were not there. All right, let's go on to the next thing that came out of the evening.
Can you see anything weird in here? I can see like green lights in my peripheral vision.
You're in the ballroom at this point. Well, the great thing is that you took a photo.
Did you get something on the photo?
Yes, and I'm about to show you what that was. That was the first photo that you took in the ballroom.
Wow.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Wow.
And there's a second shot that you took. And that's pretty much a classic vortex as far as a paranormal investigator would be concerned.
Oh, man. I just have to say I'm really happy that it wasn't just my imagination. Like, it's so nice to have that evidence right there.
And it's kind of the same height, if you like, of a small boy. When you talked about Daniel all night. And, yeah, this is quite possibly him in the ballroom. And maybe he was outside as well.
Just following me around.
And Michael, do you remember when you were wandering through and you said you felt creepy that something had happened there? Do you remember that? And you actually took a photo at the time.
Right. Okay.
And there it is.
What is that?
The bizarre thing about this is that in most of the panels in this door, because it's just glass, you're looking straight outside, so you can actually see the railing behind it in those bottom two panels. And in the top panels on the right-hand side, you're looking out just into the black of night. But why doesn't that happen on the left-hand side?
Because that place was definitely the creepiest of all the energy when I was in that place, in the upstairs anyway.
Yeah, you talked about suicides. Paranormal experts talk about residual hauntings, which is where a spirit is trapped in an event, if you like, that occurred, and it's just replaying itself over and over again, and possibly this photograph is just a still frame of that particular event.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's quite nasty,
That's
isn't it?
evil. That's really evil.
Oh, what a night.
It all happens at the Waitomo Caves Hotel. I can't believe it. We got on tape, by all reasoning, a full floating orb on video. It's absolutely more than I ever expected that we would get out of this. And the stupid part now is I'm completely hooked. I want more. We're that close to getting a full floating apparition, which is just the be-all and end-all of ghost hunting.
It's one extreme to the other, really. Like, you feel the green lights, you see them, and then there's an orb following you around that you're totally unaware of, so, yeah.
Well, I was thinking I was going to see, a ghost with chains rattling. But you get to see spirit in energy, either an audible energy or an energy of a sense around you, a temperature change, or a physical hairs standing up on the back of your neck.